Switching gears here, if you've been watching the show the last couple of weeks and you've seen our adventures, and adventures they were, at the Idaho Aquarium for a creature feature, jellyfish we started with, and then we did sharks and stingrays.
And you got splashed by some of those
several times.
well. Yeah, and this week we're looking at one of the creatures you can find in the water and in the air, but locally, only at the aquarium. For a very special creature feature at the Idaho Aquarium. We are getting a chance to see some animals that we haven't ever seen before. Obviously, it's kind of hard to bring some of these animals into the studio. That's why we're with Nathan Hall this morning from the Idaho Aquarium. He's a marine biologist here. Thanks so much for letting us come in and see all the cool animals.
Yeah, no problem.
And we're starting off with something that I understand is pretty new here at the Idaho Aquarium, right? What are these birds here behind us?
These are horned puffins. We got these from Alaska in June, and so they've been here about 3 months now. So they're just kind of getting settled into their new habitat here at the aquarium.
And you mentioned they come from Alaska. I can kind of feel the cool air coming from in there. What kind of temperature or climate are they in inside the aquarium?
Right now the water temperature is about 45 degrees. We keep the air temperature around 50, 52 degrees. We have a cooler blowing right over the top to keep it nice and cool for the birds.
What kind of physical adjustments do their bodies make as it gets colder in the winter?
Right now they've just finished their molting cycle as they've gone into their winter plumage or their feathers.
Okay.
And so they're actually a darker gray, darker black color than they normally are in the winter.
And so that's just a different color that comes in the winter, or does it actually lighten up in the summer when
It'll change, actually. Their beaks will change. They'll change to a red-orange beaks. Some of our older puffins will get orange and red and all these bright colors, especially in the spring and summer. But as they go into winter, that changes.
So they definitely live in some cold climates, but they're also looking to get a little bit warmer when they can.
Yeah, most people think that these are more like birds that stay in the winter and stay in Alaska and stay in the north. Even though they're Arctic birds, they do fly south for the winter just to get to warmer weather, but not too warm, as they are getting more and more energy and basically fattening up as they go into the winter.
You're holding something in your hand. What kind of stuff do they eat here?
Yeah, so we feed our puffins a variety of different fish, from capelin to silverside, small bait fish, and even some krill, which is a small red crustacean which blue whales and whales actually eat.
And so can we feed some of them now?
Oh, absolutely. Usually we try to get their signal, or at least kind of let them know something's going on. So we'll see if we can get them moving around. So if you watch, you'll notice that they swallow their food whole all the way. And then they'll pack in. They can pack in as much as 25 small little fish into their crop or into their gut. These are diving birds. They can swim and fly. They're capable of diving all the way down to about 200 feet to grab small fish and krill and other things underneath the water. They usually hold their breath in here for at least 10-15 seconds or so, but they're definitely capable about 30 to 45 seconds. They have to jump off cliffs or get height in order to fly. Out in the wild, they typically roost and nest on cliffs and rock faces, and so we tried to simulate that here with the little ledges and different rock work. We're part of a breeding program. These birds are actually a threatened species because their populations are declining, and so we need to help keep their population numbers up.
So some pretty neat animals here, these horned puffins at the Idaho Aquarium. They're going to be here for a while?
Yep.
All right, thank you so much, Nathan, for telling us all about them. We sure appreciate it. Come check them out at the Idaho Aquarium, and we'll be back next week with Creature Feature. Cool little birds there, and one thing that I wanted to point out, you see them swimming under the water, you see the bubbles rising up. Nathan told us that they actually have a layer of air that's trapped in between their skin and their feathers, and that kind of helps give them the buoyancy and everything that they need. So yeah, when they actually have bubbles coming out of their bodies and feather and everything is underwater. So
well, that aquarium is so cool, and it seems like they just keep getting more and more things. We need to go see Beam,
the sea turtle.
The sea turtle.
We will definitely be going back to the Idaho Aquarium sometime in the near future for some more creature features.